Hello, hello, hello. Alrighty, we're going to be doing like somewhat of a review, somewhat of an update on Wild Assault. I have 32 and a half hours in the game, 32.5. They recently came out with this news thing yesterday. I went through it briefly and I saw some things that were weird and kind of expected. And I don't know. I wanted to talk about it. I also wanted to give like a soft review on it. So first of all, as you can see, for the Valiant Balancing Satisfaction, it's kind of like a 50-50. Some people think it they think it's some no, not even, yeah, it's average or good. Then you have poor, excellent, and you know, other things. We're a little bit colorblind, so I do apologize about that. It's a little bit hard to tell which one is which on this, but it seems to be overall like a 50-50 between average and good. Nothing's really great. And then so here they're mapping out the plan. They gave some buffs, they gave some nerfs, thank God. So I've always had an issue with Akai's, I know I'm pronouncing it wrong, I'm sorry, I'm English American, my apologies. I've always had an issue with her stationary ability, the stealth not lasting. The stealth still doesn't last, but the stealth not lasting, but also the fact that you can just be beamed out of her circle. So she's got a damage reduction, 50% damage reduction. Great, that is fantastic. It doesn't fix a core like issue. It doesn't fix like a vast issue that I have with it, the ability, but at least it gives us it gives the Akai players something. The Croc survivability decreased. So apparently he had a damage reduction of up to 80% when his ability was active. That's been dropped to 30. So he's now just not the tankiest motherfucker on the planet outside of the Panda. Great. Irwin's always had this ability to like have speed increases. So when it says Irwin gains the increased movement speed for a short period when the ability is active, the signature ability to Unspoken Truth, she already gained a speed buff as far as I'm aware, so didn't really change. Again, this was yesterday. I've been playing a lot over the past week and a half, so as far as I'm aware, this didn't really change too much. As for Ying's ability, the bunny, this new one, when you throw down that capsule and it gives that that surrounding area you know, of healing, it now will produce a smoke grenade, essentially, which doesn't help it too much when the person is down. But, and you know, concealment isn't cover, but concealment is almost as good depending on what it is. Then, God damn it, go away. Then you have Norman, the Lost Claw. I don't know who Norman is. I'm sorry. Oh, let me look at this real quick. Who the fuck is Norman? Oh, it's the cat. Okay. Norman, the Roar range ability decreased. Thank fuck. Doesn't tell you how much they decreased it, but they decreased it. The Tough Cop, I thought the Gator was a cop. Apparently not. They significantly increased the reload speed of Ryan's ultimate ability, exclusive weapon, the sawed-off shotgun. I mean, it's a sawed-off shotgun. It should have already had just a beastie reload, so if it's faster, great. I don't play these guys. I don't play these three characters. So I couldn't tell you whether it's going to be great or it's not going to be great. I've only played against them. They're pretty tanky already, so I don't know what most of their abilities are for the most part. I don't know really how they work, but I've gone against them. I'm just giving my overall just kind of like a basic bitch knowledge of it. The cooldown adjustment for this field fort, I think deployable cover does need to be used more. I'm glad that the tactical ability does cool down 60%. I've never used Vladimir, but having him be able to deploy his shield, like, it gives him more of an incentive to deploy his shield, because they don't really deploy their shields all that much, the Vladimir players. So having built-in cover like that, and the cover also gives you ammo, so giving them more of an incentive to do this is going to be great. For the assault rifles, they've decreased the overall hip fire spread. They've optimized the gun feel, reducing excessive recoil shake. Honestly, this is good. I don't usually use assault rifles because there's only one on the characters I use. Again, hopefully they just make it more better. The DMRs, they've decreased the overall hip fire spread, which is kind of good, kind of not, depending on your point of view. And then they slightly decreased the MK4's fire. The MK4 is a just diabolical weapon. So the fact that it got nerfed, I could see it coming. I'm glad that it's there. Like, I'm glad that it's there, objectively speaking, as someone who uses it and loved it. I'm a little bit I don't know what it is now, but this was yesterday, so it should be... God. They lowered it by about 100. Because I think it was 700 before. No, they lowered it by 51. I think it was 700 even before, somewhere close to that. So they lowered it by 51. So, good. Shotguns are no longer available on Vladimir or Zinshan. Again, I'm white. I'm sorry. Foreign languages were not my specialty. In fact, I physically can't speak Spanish because I can't roll my R's. I can't roll my tongue while I'm talking. I took like a year and a half of Spanish, and just no matter how fucking hard I tried, I cannot do it. So, foreign languages, I do apologize. I'm going to butcher them. My bad. But they reverted shotgun close-range performance to ensure consistent eliminations for slim body valiants within 10 meters and effective damage within 15 meters. I love how they give you the 1 meter equals 3.28 feet with 3.3 feet. Basically, I look as a meter as a yard, which is 3 feet, and then I just add the 0.3 onto it after the fact. So 10 meters is 30 feet, roughly 33 feet at the end of the day. So adding an extra 15 feet 3 inches, or 15 feet, I don't fucking know, 6 inches, something like that. It might be good, it might not be, I don't know, I haven't tried shotguns yet, but shotguns were kind of dog shit before, so if this makes it less dog shit, it's gonna be great. Snipers, I didn't realize that actually limbs had a different body damage, so this was good. I was glad that they said the NTW Proto. I don't know if that's the one. I think I used that one for this one. Yeah, NTW Proto. So this says that it does 405 damage. And when you go to this, it says 150 damage for the chest and the stomach. So what does it do? 150 or 405? Make it make sense, you know. And the one thing they said that they were going to upgrade, or I'll get into it a little bit later, but there we go. They said that they were going to make this better to read. So far, I haven't noticed it. So, yeah, overall adjustments have been to the weapon attachment sets and their stats, along with improved descriptions. Weapon attachments will now influence firearm capabilities in multiple areas, including handling, recoil, minimum maximum spread, and the spread spread increase rate. Okay. So basically, whether it blooms faster or slower, firepower, weapon range, and notably weapon readiness from sprint fire to ADS speed. They will provide an overall positive bonus to firearms. Thank God, because 90% of the attachments on these guns are absolute dog shit. They're worthless. And then the other thing we've learned from the survey, that results, we can see that many players have a high expectations for the following new features. Custom lobbies. I specifically said in my survey, you should not be focusing on custom lobbies. You don't have the player base for it. And half the player base, or half the people that took surveys, so 1,150 people, roughly, were looking forward to custom lobbies. So I'm like, look, you don't have the player base for it. If 2,500 people took this survey, There's 2,500 people in the Discord. I think there's 400 people playing on a Saturday evening on Steam. You don't have the player base for it, and if you say half of the survey takers want it, or half the player base, I'm just gonna like make a broad statement and say half the player base wants it, you're already gonna lose half the player base the second that this goes live. And then you're going to be putting a PvP on top, PvE on top of that. I want PvE as a story mode, or like as a way to just like kind of get to know the Valiants. Right now, you're kind of thrown into it. You can't really learn it, and you have to. It's either they match your playstyle or they don't, and it's an absolute slog. But as for these two things, not looking forward to them, just simply because it's going to split the player base more than it already is. It's not a big enough player base for them to be doing these types of lobbies, because they just don't have the player base for it right now. Then with this one, Customize UX, aka customization, it looks like many of the survey takers are also interested in Valiant customization. Valiant interaction experiences, petting win is in capital, and the Steam Workshop, etc. Your wishes are command. Related R&D is already in the progress. Okay, so the custom lobbies and the customization, they're already working on it. Awesome. Problem is, Steam Workshop. Is it going to be maps? Is it going to be custom maps only? Are they going to throw, like, if they find a good map, are they going to kind of like sponsor the map and throw that into a legitimate server rotation? Who knows? There's a lot to go on with the Steam Workshop. The other thing is, if they're adding character customization into the workshop, is it going to be money? Is it going to take away money from the developers? What's it going to do? Like, there's a lot of questions that I have when it comes to the Steam Workshop, just mainly because the game is still in early access. It's a very small team. I don't know how big the team is. It's not like a full-blown, 120, 130 people working on this. I think it's like 10 to 20 people, maybe. So I don't know how the Steam Workshop is going to be. I'd prefer most skins or most customization options to be through the store. I know that's a really weird thing to say as someone who's dirt poor. When it comes to this type of thing, I want to make sure that they are getting a reasonable amount of money to continue to work on the game. Because right now, while it is playable, it needs a lot more work to get to where it's going to be enjoyable for a lot more people. Right now, a lot of the people that are playing it, myself included, are mainly doing it because it's the furry version of Battlefield, and Battlefield has sucked for a while. Just my opinion. They've improved the bots, apparently. Comprehensive overhaul to bot performance, including, but not limited to, improvement pathfinding, enhanced combat logic, and balanced difficulty scaling. What I find funny about this is... Where was it? They specifically said something that absolutely made me giggle. Where was it? Yeah, here it is. Gameplay and system UI fixes. Fixed an issue where bots could unreasonably turn 180 degrees and eliminate enemies. These bots were literally turning on a dime and doming you. And that's just funny to me. Bots are cracked in Wild Assault. But overall, they made some environmental fixes, none that I actually have a concern with. So Target C on Crescent Bay, there was an issue with some collision in some areas. I noticed that, but it wasn't really like mind-blowing. It wasn't like, oh my god, this is game-breaking. And then they fixed the map where the Hunter crossbow couldn't deal damage to the targets. Great, fantastic. Great, fantastic. Almost nobody plays on that because it's a training ground. Anyway, on to the rest of the review. Supposedly they removed shotguns from this guy? Oh, no, wait, it was... Who the fuck? Zinshin? Still show shotguns. So has this not gone live yet? Let's see. Shotguns will no longer be available on Vladimir and Zinshin. Vladimir, well, he's got shotguns. So this hasn't gone live just yet, apparently. I thought it did. Huh. Does it say upcoming? Future plans? Oh, adjustment plan. Ha, I wasn't even paying attention to that. Anyway, so they're gonna make some things. So this hasn't been nerfed yet. The MK4 has not been nerfed. Has it been nerfed? I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, so it looks like none of this has fully gone live yet. Maybe, mayhaps. Oh well. Anyway. Oh, okay. Well, my game crashed. As soon as we get the game back and up and running, honestly, I feel like overall, despite what I've been saying, you know, previously, that it has a lot of work to be done. There's a high amount of potential, and like the one thing, like if I'm gonna go into the negatives first, the collision on a lot of the things needs to be fixed. Trying to get onto rocks and trying to get into interesting and unconventional places. Like, I'm not talking I want to be able to get outside the map and do like 360 no scopes from across the map. I'm not talking about that. I think one of the first games that I've uploaded it for this, like at the start of like last week or something like that, I was struggling to get on top of a little plateau, and it wasn't that like a game breaking. It wasn't anything. I clearly could get on top of it, but I had to do some wonky stuff. And every time my character grappled onto it, he was grappling onto something that was like significantly higher than the terrain. I'd rather have my character clip into the terrain when grappling than clip over the terrain, because then that collision box also messes with bullets and all this other stuff, and it becomes really wonky. So I'd prefer to clip into the terrain, if not by all that much, rather than yes, I have it equipped again, rather than anything else. Anyway, yes, game, I have it equipped. Anywho, so as you can see, a lot of my time spent in game is going to be on 4 Valiants. 1, 2, 3, yeah. So this sniper guy, mainly because this Croc guy wasn't in until recently, and to be perfectly frank, I think he was a little bit overpowered. His nerfs haven't gone through yet, or they might have, they might not have. I could have sworn that the MK4 had a 700 RPM rate. Maybe it's an attachment I have. Let me see. 10% to RPM, so if I... This was my RPM. Okay, so it's an attachment I have. It does have a 714 rounds per minute. Okay. Now that that's up and out and clear, those haven't gone through yet, but again, my main downside to Akai is just going to be her abilities. Her ultimate is it's something, you know. Trying to use it in a game where you're constantly moving in such a limited, in such a limited space, it's really hard. It's like there are some people that can use it very well, and I'm not one of those people. So I've stopped using her because I haven't been able to take full advantage. Granted, I'm a pro, but if you look at my Marquez, I think I'm Elite 2 almost. So I have significantly more playtime in Marquez. Just simply because her playstyle, I'm basically there, 400 points. But yeah, basically, Marquez's playstyle or abilities just seem to fit the game for my playstyle a lot better. So there's that. Typically, I usually am either a sniper or a medic in games like this, but because the characters are so vocal. That is another thing that makes me not want to play certain characters. Because they are so vocal, I just don't like listening to them 24/7. Marquez is bearable, and same with Jack. But everybody else can fuck off. It's kind of terrible. So if I have to knock the game, it's gonna be for, you know, the character's too vocal. They need to shut the fuck up. The menu music doesn't typically have a clean break in it. It's really weirdly timed. The UI needs a major update. The amount of tabs that I have to click through to get to certain places is ridiculous. Like, I have an event tab over here. Great. Now I have the sextants over here. I have announcements. I have redeem codes. And then that's not even going to the past. Then I have to go into the past to get to the tasks. And then to customize my person, I have to go here, and then I can select this one or this one, and then I can customize here, and then I have to go over here or over here, and there are so many things to click, and it's very cluttered. I have recently learned, however, that if you're in-game, you can left-click on the weapon that you have selected, and it will bring you directly to the screen. But then to get out of it, I think you have to click the escape the amount of time. Anyway, it's a little... It could be streamlined. They could have a drop-down bar. Like, yeah, you can go to tasks here, and it will bring you back. But again, if you want to go into the season pass, or, you know, it's just really, it's really weird. It could be less cluttered, or less intensive. I don't know. If you had a way to get, like, it was just a drop-down menu, like daily tasks and track tasks. It wasn't this big box, but if you had daily tasks, track tasks, events, dead drop, or the store, and then you had like your customization, things like that. I think if it was all in one spot, I would be a little bit better. Or if you could go directly, like you can here, go to weapons. So my argument's actually falling apart here, but I don't say so. It's not as much of a gripe as, like, as I'm explaining it. It's making a lot more sense to me. So I'll redact the. I won't actually take it out of the video, but I'll redact my statement that it's a little cluttered. As for other things, what is it? Middle mouse button? It is. But then, as you can see, every time I click on a player or a character, I have to go through this little, like, thing. I have to go through this little cinematic. Why? That's a waste of time. Like, you can skip it instantly, but it's just like, why do I have to look through it? You know, why do I have to skip that? Overall, I think it's interesting. It doesn't have the player base for the amount of goals that they have. I would personally recommend it if you're into these these types of games. I mean, I definitely would. I would definitely recommend supporting them. They listen to their fan base. I remember when the game first came out, in the first... explaining requests will be automatically added to the latest season pass. Okay, cool. That's neat. So in theory, I could get... Right? Did I get these? Oh, I'm stuck in here. Let me see. Oh. So that, yeah, they're all the same. I think, yeah, they are. Okay. The other thing that they did, well, I guess the other positive thing that they did is, they made it so you can't, or so that you can constantly get the previous battle passes and the, and, you know, and the current battle passes, which is great. They don't have FOMO, but when they originally first came out with this game, they limited the amount of XP that you could get. I think it was like 1 or 2 levels a day outside of the daily tasks, and that was dog shit. And within like a week of them coming out with it, of them going live, they reverted. They're like, yeah, oh, sorry, that's our bad. But one of the other, I guess I'm going to flop back and forth between positives and negatives. And negatives is a very harsh word for it. It's just going to be like a con. You get 50 levels per match, or you get 50 experience per match, anywhere between 50 to 60 depending on how good you do. Typically you're going to get 55 to 57, which is okay. It's not great. It's decent. Problem is it's 400 XP per thing, and no matter how good you do or how bad you do, like there was a game that I had earlier, I absolutely dominated. There wasn't a single person in my lobby, even a dev, that came even close to my score, my kills. I didn't have too many revives, but I had capture points, I had kills, I was just top of the leaderboard. And I got like 60 points for it. And it's like, dog, come on, man. Really? So, like, if I absolutely dominated like that in a game like Fortnite, let's just make that a comparison, because it's really the only game that I have that I have decent... I have a lot of experience in Fortnite from their Season Pass, but you can get like 5, 6, 7 levels per game if you're just stupidly good and you do some quests. In fact, I think my wife and I played like 5 games or something like that. She ranked up like 20 or 30 times. It was absolutely fucking mind-boggling how many times she ranked up, and there's just no way to do that in this game, no matter how good you do, no matter how bad you do. And I guess that is one of the... It's like a pseudo-con, pseudo-positive, because no matter how bad you do, you could get 1 kill, you could get 500 points, and you'll still get 50. The problem is now it limits you... Like, the low end limits the top end. And so, having to play a minimum... And this is a bare minimum. If you started with 0 points, which you very rarely do because of the wacky 1s, 2s, 5s, and 7s and weird things that they add, you would have to do 8 games. And if you get your absolute ass slammed, you don't even make it to the 10-minute mark. Great, you get 50 points, you could spend less than an hour, you could get a full level. But if it's an absolute balance thing and you're fighting for points and the game ends up taking 25 minutes, I also have a couple of games like that. You're looking at a game longer than Fortnite and you don't even get a level. Hell, depending on your tasks, you might not even get half a level. Again, you'll get an 1/8 of a level. And yeah, this one right here, this weekly task, complete 3 matches. I'm 2 of 3 of it. I get 250 points. It's a little bit more than half of the thing. So if I do this plus another one, I get a level. But this is a challenge. This is a week 3 challenge, or a week 3 task. So it's not like this is coming out every day. This is a once a week thing that you'll get 1 level every 3 matches, or roughly. So you'll get 150 plus 250, that's 400. So yeah, like one day out of the thing, in 3 matches, you'll get 1 level. And see, just there, the music stopped mid-note and started over again. Sometimes it carries through that note, sometimes it doesn't. It's a very minor con, but it is something that can be worked on. But anyway, like, and some of these aren't bad, but this total earn 100,000 points. I've been playing solidly for, God, 2 weeks now, I think. That a week and a half, 2 weeks that I've actually played this. And I'm at 462,000 points. So this weekly task, it could legitimately take you a fucking week, if not more. I mean, I'm only at 19,000, and I have to earn another fucking 80,000 points. That could legitimately take me another week. And this task right here, this challenge task where the 500,000 points, this task has been available since this game came out, and I'm just barely getting to it. I'm 34 or 36 hours in now while I'm recording this. I think the timer went up, but I'm 36 hours into this game now, and this is based off of the Battle Pass experience. This isn't based off Valiant experience. It might be based off of Valiant experience. I'm at 17,000 here, but again, I don't know. It's weird. Anyway, I'll move on from that. But I do think that the amount of XP that you earn should not just be performance based, but it should be more than 50. It's like, who cares if you unlock the battle pass in 2 weeks? Like, look at level 50, 400 beast coins, and then infinite weapon XP cards. You don't need weapon XP cards, dog. Like, look at this. You don't even get a universal AR until level 45. We're a month into this? Yeah, we're about 30 days into this, and I bought half of the ranks in my last season. Just simply because Steam is stupid. So what happened was I went to go buy something. You can't buy this particular thing for a group person, so I had to end up refunding the game. And then I was just going to be like, originally I was like, well, I'll just, because I bought it for myself. I was dumb. I was refunded. And I was like, I'll just buy this pack with that refund, so I'll just ask for Steam funds instead. Well, the Steam funds, it turns out that even though, I have Steam funds, it's actually cash, but even though you can purchase it, you can only purchase it from yourself or your other private account, which has to be linked to your original account, which is dumb. You cannot buy game bundles for your friends list, which... Anyway, it's stupid. I had to spend more money on 2 items instead of getting like 15 items, which really bothered me. But long story short, I got my funds back. It was like $35. I threw it all into this game. I got all the cosmetics that I could. I think I got Banoi and I got Skunk. Did I get anybody else? Oh yeah, and I got Akai's stuff. And then I threw whatever beast coin I had into the thing, which I had a lot of beast coin. It was $35 fucking dollars. So I had just a ridiculous amount. Anyway. Sorry. So yeah, I who cares if you unlock this battle pass in 2 weeks? I was fully done with my battle pass on Fortnite in like 2 weeks. I think it was 2 weeks that I fully unlocked the entire of the original battle pass, like the main 100 levels. I did that in like 2 weeks. But in this, it could legitimately take you the entire time that this battle pass is around if you're not playing it 24/7. And like me, I flop between this game and Fortnite, so it is one of those things where you're going back and forth. It's going to take you the entire fucking time that this game is out, unless you throw money at it. And the other thing, I think I said this on stream, I don't think you should have to go through the entire battle pass to get cosmetics. Because this is a cosmetic, which is great, but it's 10 levels in, and let's say I don't want this battle pass. I mean, technically I didn't, but I want to support the developers, so I bought the battle pass. It was like $8. Leave me alone. But, like, I shouldn't have to work through this battle pass to get cosmetics. In like 2 months, I think, after the battle pass is done, these should show up in the shop. I think I said that before. I genuinely think that, and I don't think these, like, playing cards or these icons should. I think you should have to work through the battle pass for that. But something, a very unknown opinion about the game is if a character comes out or a gun comes out, they're all free. You do not have to buy the battle pass to get these weapons. A lot of people are saying you do. You don't. At least a lot of the negative reviews. They're like, dude, I gotta buy a $15 game, then I have to buy a $15 pass. It's not. The pass isn't even $15. It's $8. It's $8. You do have to buy the $10 package plan, but then you have beast coins you have V-Bucks, beast coins, whatever the fuck you want to call them, to throw into the battle pass or into a random cosmetic. Anyway, long story short, you know, you get basically an extra $4 back, so you get half off if you complete the battle pass, basically. So anyway, I think the cosmetics should be able to be unlocked, and you unlock any sort of game-changing thing. Like, look, you get a free... I think this is a skin. Yeah, this is a cosmetic, but I think you still get this. Yeah, you still get... You get all the guns for free. You get all the characters for free. You don't get some of the cosmetics for free. But, like, you get this playing card for free. You get that. That playing card's not for free. This icon's for free. This isn't free. That's not free. And then this isn't free. So you're paying $8 for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cosmetic, or, well, 7 cosmetics and some extra beast coins. I don't know how I feel about cosmetics in an over-the-shoulder shooter like this, and the third-person shooter on the weapon cosmetics. I don't know how I feel about them because I don't notice these at all while I'm in game. Now, if they switch to more weapons with, like, weapons with scopes or weapons with red dots, like, if there was a way to make this weapon, this is going to be an over-the-shoulder weapon, if they made it so that I put a scope on this and it changed it to first person, I would think, I would be like, dude, give me more weapon skins so that way I can see this really cool design right up, you know, close to personal. But they don't do that at the moment, so, you know, meh. Anyway, I think that'll be about it for my review. I think people should play it more. I think a lot more people should play it. Like, overall speaking, a majority of the time, I have fun in this game. I can't say that for Fortnite. Fortnite really pisses me off at times. This game can be a little bit frustrating, but it's nowhere to the extent of Fortnite, so I think more people should play it. I think more people should give the developers money. This is not a paid segment, by the way. I just think that I think small indie devs, I believe they might be an indie dev, considered an indie dev. Jesus fucking Christ. A small dev company. I think you should be able to. Oh look, I didn't get this one, but do I want it? No, I don't really play the Twink Mink. Anyway, I'm not endorsed by them. As you can tell, I'm like a majority of this review does sound negative, but I have fun in the game, and yeah, this game didn't take off. I guess one of the closer things. No, it's not even that close. I was gonna compare it to BattleBit Remastered, but it's completely different. It's got a similar vibe, but it's different enough that I'm not gonna compare the two. I can, you know, this Battlefield and BattleBit, they all have the same game mode, which is capture the flag with tickets. They call it a conquest style of game mode. They're all basically the same thing. Raid is... Oh, look, Deathmatch is back. Raid is a slightly quicker, depending on the, you know, the lobby matchup, is a slightly quicker than Conquest. But yeah, I like it. It's good. Play it. Support small developers. Yeah.